Well, I'm very pleased to be joined now by the head coach of the Rochester Rhinos, Bob Lilley. Bob, thank you for taking the time to join us today.
Hi, Nick. It's great being here.
Well, first of all, congratulations. Monday, first win of the season against the Chicago Fire Reserves. I'm sure ahead of the home opener, it was good to get that first win under your belts.
Yeah, I think it was an important game for us, especially with a really young team, just to build some confidence. And I think we're showing potential. Obviously, it's early in the season, but the results help move you forward.
You obviously mentioned the youth in your team. There was a really big turnover of the roster this off-season. You only have maybe 2 or 3 significant players from last season, and Tyler Rosenland, Lance Rosenbaum, and J.C. Banks coming back. Talk a little bit about the youth of the squad, because there were some guys yesterday, and Min Vu in particular, that really stood out.
Yeah, I think we have some young, exciting players. They're getting used to the level of the league. Obviously, there's a lot of quality teams, and I can say comfortably that the league is much stronger than what I remember it just a few years ago. I was here in 2010 and 2011, and in this short time, I feel like the league has really jumped forward, and it's deeper. We obviously tried to do combines and scout as many players as possible when we turned the roster over, and we went primarily young, and some of these guys I think have a bright future. They're getting the experience, they're getting the games now, and Min Vu's certainly one of them that has shown early in the season that he's gonna be a big asset for our club, and he was a player that we actually found down at the USL Combine. So you guys had him in the USL Combine, and we were able to scout him there.
Well, that was I remember seeing him there, and obviously I remember hearing the conversations that you were having with him at that time. There were other guys that have come through, though, like Alex Dixon, your goalkeeper yesterday, John McCarthy coming through in his first pro start, earns the shutout. So there definitely seems to be a lot of potential and a lot of room for growth over the course of this season for a lot of guys.
Yeah, I'm optimistic. We've tried to although it's young, we've tried to build a deep squad, and we had 4 new starters in the lineup yesterday. A lot of guys have gotten starts already, so hopefully that'll help us if we run into some injury issues or when you play back to back. And there's healthy competition in the group for playing time or even to get into the 18. So we're hoping that's going to kind of set a good standard for players, to be sharp, to train well, when they get their chances, make the most of them.
You mentioned, obviously, this is your second stint with the Rhinos. When the call came from Pat Erkely and Dave Sislinski to see if you would be interested in coaching the squad again, what made your decision to come back? Was there any one particular thing, or was it just the right time to jump back into the professional coaching ranks?
Yeah, I think I missed it the 2 years I was away, but also, at that time when I stepped aside, I was, for me, I was a bit burned out. I had been in Canada for a number of years and came back right away and coached indoors in Detroit, and then, went home for a bit, and then I got the call from Rochester, and we had 2 successful years here, and but I wanted to get back closer to home, and that obviously I enjoyed the 2 years and worked with younger players and with a very strong youth club called PA Classics, and that was certainly enjoyable. It's not the same environment, and I missed the pro environment, and I know the league has taken many steps forward and grown, and the quality of play has gone up and up each year. So, it's exciting to come back and get a chance to, to hopefully bring Rochester back to the top of the table.
Well, obviously, as you mentioned, I mean, Rochester really had its first really down season last year. It missed the playoffs for the first time. When you went into this off-season with Pat and the guys up there, what was the biggest plan of action? What were the types of players that you were looking for to kind of re-establish the Rhinos and establish the style of play that you has traditionally succeeded in Rochester?
Well, I think, first of all, I thought, 2 years ago, obviously, Rochester got off to a great start and had a strong season. They fell off a bit last year early, and once that hole was dug, there was injuries, and it just seemed the momentum was, they weren't able to turn that momentum around, and so, obviously we looked at the roster. It was an older team, a lot of injuries. We felt like we had to get younger. We wanted to be a little bit more mobile. We thought, we're going to have a little bit more mobility as a team, to compete game in and game out in this league. So obviously we looked at those types of players. I think we have some very good technical, attacking pieces that, they definitely have quality going forward. We're still trying to, tactically get the group acclimated where they're all playing, they're all new to each other. So you have to get them on the same page tactically in terms of how we're going to defend, how we're going to possess the ball, what style we're going to play, what system we're going to play. So, that learning process has been going on through training camp and is still going on now. Hopefully, as we go through the season, we're going to have a clearer picture and a better understanding, throughout the team in terms of how we play and how each individual plays. But that's going to be a growing, learning process. But I think they're making good strides, and we have a very difficult schedule. 10 of our first 14 are on the road, and some tough home games here early in the season. So, we have our work cut out for us, but I do think there's a lot of potential with this group.
You guys get Charleston on Sunday for the home opener. Obviously a very good Battery team that somehow has yet to win a game this season. But for you personally, what's it going to mean to be back on the sidelines at Salem Stadium?
Well, I'm excited to get back at it at home. Obviously, that's why I came back. And here, I think we've always had good fan support, and we have a nice stadium. We have a good atmosphere. Hopefully we're going to give the fans more to cheer about this year than maybe last year. But it's very competitive, and that's the challenge is, you've got to get better week to week and throughout the season. And, each year, as I said, the league gets better. So, for me, it's a huge challenge. And I've been in some different cities where, I've rebuilt teams, or, even Hershey was an expansion team, and I enjoy putting a team together, from scratch. I'm eager to see where this group can go, but I think, we've collected a pretty good roster and a pretty deep roster. They're young, so we're going to take some lumps along the way, and it's going to be difficult for us, but I think trying to make the playoffs is a realistic goal for this group, and certainly that's our target for this year is to try and get back in the mix at playoff time and see how far we can take it.
Well, Bob, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Best of luck this Sunday in your home opener, and best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks, Nicholas.